What's up, guys and gals? It's time for the latest piece of One Piece, chapter 1166. And my God, is this a chapter or is this not a chapter? I mean, just I'm gonna miss so much that's relevant. I'm going to miss out on theories. I'll bring it up probably 2 chapters from now, 3 chapters from now, 10 chapters from now. But either way, we do need to review this chapter. My God, this is insane. So we get a big double color spread here. Obviously, looking like it's in Wano. We have, the little foxes on the bridge. We have Luffy. We have Zoro. We have Sanji. We have Nami. We have like just a little fun thing with like Tanukis and Kitsunes and that kind of idea as the color spread. But then we jump right into the seriousness. There's a lot to uncover here. So in these first couple pages, chapter 1166, entitled New Tales. Now, immediately, Rox is laying there. Roger is laying there. Garp is laying there. They're all done. They're all comatose. The 3 strongest characters in the verse are all... that was a football fucking Sunday if I ever fucking saw one. Yep. So, Rox seemingly has his mind back because the wings are gone, the size is gone, the vampire teeth are gone. He even acknowledges, did they really break the curse? We see that Garp and Roger are basically out of it. And then Rox realizes, come on, stay alive. This island is ... And we don't know what exactly his thought process about the island was. But seemingly, this crazy amount, this pinpoint conquers hockey, like, once again, people were mad about this. Makes no sense to me because every shonen does it. But Sanpaktoa skyscrapers right down to a point. Trillion Dark, 7 Deadly Sins down to a point. Goku, Spirit Bomb down to a point. Like, literally everything. Every single time, it's always down to a point. And boom, it clearly... the amount of Conquerors hockey between Garp and Roger combined was enough to break even Emo's Domi Reversi. Some people are probably very unhappy by this. I already know people are unhappy by this, but would you actually be happy? The problem is the same people would be unhappy if Oda were to introduce a new power system this late in the game. I guarantee you they'd be unhappy with that too. So, can't win with those people. Just don't listen to them. Problem solved. I'm all good with the fact that it just took an enormous amount of concentrated Conquerors hockey to defeat the Domi Reversi. And I also like to think that this implies that the only reason it was necessary is because Rox already had an insane amount of Conquerors hockey on his own. So it took the combined strength of Garp and Roger to double down and suppress it. Right? In the case of the current storyline, Luffy, Zoro, Scopper, the guys who have it, should be able to dwarf everybody and be like, Conquerors hockey, boom! Like the same way that Shanks did. They should be able to, like, Wi-Fi hockey, kaboom! And people without Conqueror's Hockey should be able to be dummy reversing back pretty easily. Not saying it's easy. I'm saying that Conqueror's Hockey, it actually matters that the fact that Rocks had Conqueror's Hockey, like, Roger or Garp would be able to, like, if you dummy reversed 100 civilians, Garp could simply go, boom, hit the ground, Conqueror's Hockey, and switch everybody back. You know, I'm going on the limb right now. That's my theory. And the only reason that we're seeing it in this context is because it was Rocks. So, then, in this same page, we see him, the upside down panel. The regen merchants. The hacks merchants. The fucking... Anybody who says that these guys are in the top 20, I immediately will stop listening to. Okay? The moment somebody tells me that these guys are top 25, I am going to argue even top 30. Your opinion to me becomes invalid, and you might as well. I am now the brick wall. I will be the brick wall against these regen hacks, stealing merchants, motherfuckers called the Holy Knights. The Holy Knights, the God's Knights are shit. They are shit tier. I'm sorry. Everybody, Whitebeard crew can take them out. Shanks' crew, 1v1 wins. Yonko Commanders, 1v1 win. These regen hacks, these wannabe Majin Buu motherfuckers can go die in a hole and nobody will give a shit. Yeah, no. Shanks became a pirate because he was on Roger's crew. He went back to Mary Joa, realized what a fucking fake his dad was, and said, fuck that shit, I'm going back to piracy because Roger was the real deal. I'm going to stay in the footsteps of my foster father because my real dad is a regen hacks merchant fucking loser. That's exactly why Shanks did it, and I'm holding to it because, oh shit. Oh man. Here we get it. That Rocks was actually going to live. They didn't kill him, straight up. They defeated him. They broke the curse. And here at the end, shows up the Stealing Glory gang. And he's thinking to himself, damn it. It's too late. Roger, Garp, run. You can't die here. Oh yeah, there is one thing, however, I wanted to say to you. Thanks for stopping me. And choom, end of flashback. Not really, but is what it is. Either way, Garling is the one to end Rocks, and he takes the glory. He steals the kill, and he pretends like he actually was mattered or did something. You know what I mean? So the regen merchants strike once again. Rayleigh and Scopper managed to grab both Garp and Roger away from danger. Even Rayleigh there with the straw hat and stuff like that. I'm like, alright, that's a nice detail. The fact that he was like, nope, can't forget the straw hat. Okay. And there we go. They obviously did see what went down, but obviously no real reason to fight. Could Scopper and Rayleigh took on the 3 Gods Knights at this junction? I like to think that they could, but they're still at a disadvantage where it's a 3v2. And a 2v2, I'm saying Scopper and Rayleigh 100% win this. I don't give a shit which God Knight you want to put up against who, but 2v2, Rayleigh and Scopper got this shit. They got this by the ass, you know what I mean? But obviously, we have a small time skip where we don't know exactly when they showed up, because they showed up, like, we see Rayleigh, Rox. We see Rox not that far away from Rox and Roger, or Garp and Roger. Sorry, I'm getting all confused here. Point is that when the God's Knights show up to execute Rox, he's not that far away a distance from Roger and Garp. So the fact is that Rayleigh and Scopper managing to get away means that they were probably there as the execution was going down. That's what I'm thinking. What are you guys thinking? I'm not sure. But either way, they seem to get away relatively unharmed, and they're taking them both away. Garp and Roger at this point are somewhat conscious. And Garp even says, "You're worrying about the enemy? I'm your enemy too." It's like, well, yeah, fair point, because he's asking, like, what happened to Rox, and Rayleigh even mentions he was killed. So they both know, they must have witnessed it. So Rayleigh and Scopper showed up in time to witness Garling stealing that kill in the most fucking bullshit way, in the same way like Blackbeard killed Whitebeard sort of deal. Very, par for the course with that one, and Rayleigh was like, he was killed. So they saw it. They managed to get away seemingly unscathed while carrying both Garp and Roger upon their backs. Once again, I don't think the God's Knights, even on a 3v2, wanted any of that smoke, because Scopper and Rayleigh can easily take on anybody in the God's Knights. Easily. Like, that's not a 50-50. That's like a 70-30. 3v2 makes it a fair fight. You know what I mean? But they obviously don't want that smoke. They just want to get Garp and Roger out of there. So they ran away. And then, boom, the island is actually literally collapsing into the sea. There's so much bombardment and so much destruction happening right now that the entire thing is going down. And then Roger's ship is on the move. We see, we assume here that, Roger obviously got back to his own ship and stuff like that. Scopper dropped Garp off at a marine vessel, and obviously they were going to shoot down the dude who's bringing back the hero of the Marines, or is going to be the hero of the Marines. We see Whitebeard looking solemn, Big Mom looking hopeful. Kaido is, just driving away as a dragon sort of idea. They're literally a dragon, Muggy D Dragon is looking on, just wondering what's going to happen. Shanks is sleeping. We see Kuma, we see Blackbeard, we see everybody. The narrator comes on to say that, like, everything's closing. The God Valley incident, there was this big, like, shocking lightning bolt, like the sky split, the heavens split in the silence of what just happened. The entire island went into the sea. There's nothing left to see about it. And then a few days, from what we see, we assume a few days later that Roger finally wakes up, sort of idea, because they were like, no, we're not going to open the treasure. We're not going to open our booty, mateys, until the captain is awake. That captain has to be, it's sort of like a Christmas tradition. You know what I mean? It's like, no, everybody wait your turn. We do stock, like, everybody has their own traditions. In my household, it's stockings first, right? You go stockings. And then after stockings, then you do presents, right? Now, some people, they do stockings in the morning, then you have Christmas dinner, and then it's Christmas presents after the dinner, like at 5-6 p.m. Some people do the whole, they wait until midnight on Christmas Eve, and then they open up all their Christmas gifts, depending on the situation. Either way, the Roger Pirates are standing on tradition of some respect here, and they're saying, and I don't know which one it is, but they're like, nope, The captain's got to be here when we open up the treasure, when we count for our bounty and our booty, you know? And he wakes up and he says, sorry to worry you guys. I'm here. And they're like, yeah, we're thrilled. Yeah, great, Captain. Can we open this shit now? And he's just like, what the hell? You didn't give a shit, did you? You were literally standing on ceremony. And Shocky's back. Look, there's Shocky. And Shocky's just like, really, my beloved. And I'm just like, really? Once again, they call Garling the winner of the God Valley incident, and I'm sitting here, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. Silver's Rayleigh. If he doesn't have the D in his name, he's got the D in Shocky. That's all I'm going to say. And who's really winning at the end of the day? Because Rayleigh, top one of the verse. Until somebody else. I'm just saying. Yep. Rayleigh winning. He doesn't need Silver's D. Rayleigh does not need the D officially in his name to be the true D. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, Dummy Reversey Kid is looking at fucking the treasure chest being like, ha ha ha, look, we got a baby. And so Roger's like, oh, that's a really great haul. Let's open everything up. Wait, I'm hearing some noise. What the hell? And then, boom, we have Baby Shanks. And Baby Shanks is in the treasure chest, like we know from Film Red and stuff like that. Then the newspaper goes crazy in this chapter. You know, Rock's pirates are wiped out. And, of course, the news is just saying that Garp took them out single-handedly. Like, Garp showed up to God Valley. The Roger pirates were there. Whitebeard was there. Fucking the Rocks pirates were there. And it was a disaster. But he managed with one fist and with his left, he conquered one way. And with his right, he conquered the other. And between the two, he destroyed the island with his left and beat the rest of the pirates with his right, you know, like he just, and the world is going nuts over this. Now at Navy HQ, Garp is doubling down. Garp is doubling down on this shit. Now, we gotta talk about this once again, because Sengoku is doubling down on what people slander Garp for. Sengoku deserves the slander. Already talked about this on 9D Hemming's podcast, Baroque Works. Definitely go check it out. If I remember, I will link it down in the comments down below, or the description, or whatever. But Garp, we gotta talk about. So here we are at Marine HQ, or the Grand Line, the Navy HQ. We can assume the same idea, right? Marine Ford, right? And Garp is pissed. Garp is sitting there going, what the hell is this article? And he's ripping up the newspaper going like, no, this is not what happened. I do not consent to this. He said, when I get my hands on that Morgan's fella, I'm going to tear him a new one. Like, this is not right, you know? And even the people around him are saying, like, it's not Sengoku necessarily, but it could be Sengoku at this junction, I believe, says he only wrote that stuff because the government paid him off, so it's not him. Sengoku goes on to say that the world government and the Marines are massive organizations. If you count the Marines, nations, armies, we're talking about tens of millions of people and soldiers worldwide. It's impossible to account for everyone's actions and motives. So if the top brass ever do strike me as doing something crazy, I'll just simply turn a blind eye to it. And Garp is like, what? Sengoku, wait. Did I hear you correctly? You're telling me that if Donald Trump, never mind, if the Celestial Dragons did something, you know, I'm supposed to sit back and do nothing. I'm supposed to turn a blind eye. I'm just supposed to follow orders. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? And this is where they come to blows. They come to blows over this, because this is all Garp has reiterated to Roger, and it's the same thing that Sengoku has just said. What everyone has been blaming Garp for, Sengoku is actually the one saying, like, I'd wash my hands of this shit. I'd be like, well, government's got a government, and yeah, they're gonna commit some atrocities, black ops, and you know, ain't my problem. I'm doing my job. I'm just gonna do my job, stick to the government. You know, I got a good pension going on, and I'm gonna go for it. And as somebody who works for the government, as a subcontractor, I see that. I see that every day. I see the people who are more interested in protecting their job and their promotion potential than doing what's right. I see it every day. And as the lowly contractor, I'm the one who will take the shaft when push comes to shove. I'll be the one that's ousted. So once again, I see it. Maybe this is why I'm so sympathetic to Garp. Because Garp is literally in my position. Actually, he's 2 steps above. But when you think about it, he's really 3 steps behind. Because as the scene unfolds, he says, it's just like I said, you're just another promotion-chasing fool. Which is how we think of government people. You get in with the government, man. You get that in your 20s. You're set for life. Nobody can fire you. You get job security. You just make yourself important enough to stay there till you get that pension, and then you're good. You don't care about the atrocities. You don't try to fix shit. You don't stir the pot, because then you'll get fired. So you just are another cog in the machine. Sengoku is 100% becoming another cog in the world government machine. Garp is standing there going, this is wrong. Everything we have been doing, not everything that we've been doing is wrong, but this system is wrong. This system is corrupt. And Sengoku says, shut up, what good can you do barking from the bottom of the cliff? And this is what I think Garp slanderers do not understand. They see Garp, Vice Admiral, Hero of the Marines, the Fist. They see him as being Uncle Sam, Vice President, Michael goddamn Jordan. But he's not. That's what you guys fail to understand. Actually, Michael Jordan was the best analogy there. He is the all-star on the court. He has no say and no controlling interest in the Bulls, let alone the NBA as a whole. Michael Jordan might have made millions of dollars playing for the NBA, but he had zero control over general management of his franchise, let alone the NBA as a whole organization. And everybody sits there and acts like this man, who is the Michael Jordan of the Marines, is supposed to also be the GM and control head office. You're idiots. You're fucking morons if you continue to slander Garp for this. Because Sengoku is pointing it out point blank in this chapter, and reading comprehension is at an all-time low if you do not understand when he said you're at the bottom of the cliff. Vice admirals, admirals are at the bottom. We like to think they'll change shit. They'll do something. How? Why? What resources? We're talking, as Sengoku just said, tens of millions of soldiers. Not people. Tens of millions of soldiers in the world. Meaning, I would argue that there are hundreds of millions of people in the One Piece world. And Garp's job is to save them from tyranny, from piracy, and to make the Kobes and the Helmeppos of the world happen. The Smokers and the Tashigis of the world happen. And that was his goal. And I 100% say he succeeded. Rox went up to the Flower Capital, realized he couldn't do shit. Garp did not make the same mistake. Whatever you want to say about Garp should have defected, should have done this, should have done that. For all we know, the Marines, the world, and I guarantee you the world would have been worse off had Garp not stood there and become the Uncle Sam of the Marines. And a pillar, Aokiji could have become an Akainu. And we wouldn't have the Kobes and the bravery of people like Helmeppo and Kobe. Garp is here as a symbol and a statue of liberation. He's literally doing the Nika of this story. And so many people are so blind because of their poor reading comprehension. They don't understand that Garp is pulling a Nika in his own way. But since it's not, I beat up bad guy narrative, this one-dimensional narrative, nobody's getting it. Garp is doing the right thing. He's making mistakes, just like Whitebeard, just like Joy Boy, just like Rox, just like Roger, just like Luffy, just like Ace. They've all made mistakes. But for some reason, we only blame Garp for his mistakes. We don't praise him for his successes. And this man has been successful in turning the Marines into a proper, valuable organization that protects the innocent and is not as corrupt as it would be if Garp had left. If Garp leaves, the Smokers, the Tashigis, the Kobes, the Aokijis, none of that happens. It becomes a dictatorship. It becomes what Akainu wants it to be. 100%. And Garp is here, standing on principle, barking from the bottom of the cliff. As Sengoku said, like, what can you do barking from the bottom of the cliff? And he says, if you ever stray and get corrupted, I'll kill you myself. And he says, so you're not quitting? No, because there are still things that a barking dog can do at the bottom of the cliff. The man accepted, instead of trying to do what Rox did, the impossible, which was change, which for right now we have seen. He literally gathered the strongest in the verse and still lost. So Garp said, from my position, I will do whatever I can within the confines of my position and do the best that I goddamn can do until something changes. Garp is literally Garp the hero, 100%. Garp the goddamn hero. I've had enough of this Garp fucking slander bullshit. That's all I'm saying. I've had enough of this bullshit fucking slander. Because that's not an agenda. That's just a bunch of haters hating the fact that Garp, these are the same people who said that Garp was smoker level for Roger for 20 goddamn years. It's all, you know what? So just to make sure I didn't miss anything, Sengoku is basically, he did this in a sort of a bromance type of way. He was attacking him in a way to say, like, so, you're not leaving, are you? Because Sengoku, I think, recognizes that this would, if anything, this is what would push Garp to leave the Marines, whether to join the Roger Pirates, whether to go out on his own, whether to, you know, become a revolutionary, an independent contractor, whatever. Either way, Sengoku was like, just like, so, I take it that means you're not leaving the Marines, right? Yeah, can't talk about feelings. Man shit, you know? And that was his sort of way, like throwing the fists. That was his way of basically saying it. Then he said it directly, and then Garp said, idiot, you know. I'm not going to do that, you know. So that's really cool. And then we see that Loki in the underworld is remembering everything about Rox, and obviously heard about Rox's death. He thinks that Rox was Nika, and he even mentions a bunch of stuff. He mentions these Galarias, these like ultimate or ancient giants, I assume, that Harald can wake up and stuff like, I'm gonna make your dad join my crew. I don't care if it takes 100, 1,000 times. I'm gonna show up every time, and eventually we're gonna rule the world. I'm not gonna end the world. I'm gonna rule the world, Loki. Like, you know, you're just a kid. You don't get it. You know what I mean? And Loki's remembering all this, and he's really upset because he hears about the fact that Rox has died, and Harald has obviously also heard about this because on some random island he starts beating the shit out of some giant. Now, once again, Harald, people are, the community is split. The community is 100% split on this, saying that Odin and Harald are the same, or Odin and Harald are different in the sense that Odin is a piece of shit, and that Harald is just a naive person that is a tragic character. I say they're the same, in the sense that they're both idiots, they're both naive, and they're both tragic in the sense of being naive. Okay? So, here at the last part of the chapter, we have Harald beating the shit out of a giant who is raiding an island. And he basically says, like, it's because of trash like you, because of big giants that plunder and abandon and use their overwhelming size and force, that everybody hates us, that everyone's terror, like, we can't be trusted, and now we don't deserve it, and stuff like that, you know. And he's remembering the fact that he left his friend to die, and he's thinking about this. Obviously, he's working through some shit, you know what I mean? Because Rox died on his watch, and he should have helped his friend, and in the end of the day, nothing changed. The world government did not say, okay, now that Rox is dead, you guys get to be world government. Like, nothing was gained from Rox's death. All that happened was he stood on the sidelines and did not help his friend. It's very much Rocky IV. It's very much the entire essence of the Creed movies. They're like, I had the towel. I should have stopped the fight. At the end of the day, I stood there and I did nothing. My inaction led to Apollo's death. And in the same sense, Harald is standing there, and he's absolutely right. I assume if Harald had joined the fight, things would have probably been a lot different. I'm not saying that nobody would have died. I'm saying things would have went a lot different. And I don't think anybody denies that. And Harald recognizes that himself in story, going, I let my friend die. I let him go to his death. And I did nothing to prevent it. I did nothing to stop it. And I gained nothing from that. So, this is awful. So, he says, he cries to the heavens to say, I will never forgive a giant who does evil ever again. So then the newspapers go flying, and they say, like, oh, the Giant King has finally lost it, and we still can't trust him. So, once again, the worst part about this is that Harald is on this train of, I am trying to be the nice guy. I'm trying to say, hey, just because I'm a UFC fighter doesn't mean I'm gonna beat the shit out of you the moment you disagree with me. No. Like, just because I'm big and bulky, don't worry about it. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Fuck peace. We need peace, motherfucker. God damn it, son of a bitch. And I mean, like, that's not a good message, my guy. You've been promoting it, and then you literally go out and do the opposite. It scares people. It frightens. So that all goes down. Like, Harald, like, once again, people say Odin's an idiot, but, or what do they call him? Dog shit man, or whatever. Harald is exactly in that same boat, if not worse. I would say he's worse than Odin in this regard. So then we jump over. Now, there's a translation difference here that a lot of people are latching onto, and I'm going to go with the one that makes the most sense. So, Garp shows up to a marine cell, and we see that in Navy HQ that Dragon has obviously been brought up on charges, sort of idea. Garp shows up to the cell gate, similar to when he showed up to Roger's cell gate, and says, "Dad, I'm going to quit the Marines." Yeah. And you, I despise you. And Garp says, K, and throws him the key to get out, to break out. Now, here's the deal. Dragon is absolutely right in everything he did. From a moral standpoint. But from orders, he's locked up. Garp is right now dealing with everything that happened on God Valley. And he's not looking for a fight. He's not looking for an argument. He came there to save his son. Regardless. So he said, Dad, I'm going to quit the Marines. Remember, he still called him Dad. He said, I'm going to quit the Marines. And he went. He didn't fight with him on this point. He said, I get it. Alright. And then he says, and you? I despise you. Now, in most translations, it says K. Like, okay. That seems really bad, right? But in the actual translation, supposedly from the kanji, from what I understand, and this is why we don't do early translations, ladies and gentlemen, is that he said either yeah, ... or I get it, ... I get it speaks a lot more volumes. And like, I despise you. I know. You know what I mean? So the K translation ain't so great. But the moment we shift that one dialogue bubble, all of a sudden Garp's not that bad. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go with the fact that he just said, I know, and I know. He said, Dad, I'm going to quit the Marines. I know. And I despise you. I know. Like, he wasn't there to have an argument with his son. He wasn't there to... His job was literally to say, I know everything's fucked. I'm sorry I got you involved in this. Here's the key. Do whatever you're going to do. I'm so fucking tired right now. You know what I mean? So, that's my interpretation of it. If you remove the whole bad translation of K and switch it to the more accurate I know, this makes a lot more sense. Now, this is where we see, once again, the Harald, Harudin, Loki, you're both my precious sons. I want you to get along when I'm gone, sort of idea. He tells Elder Jarl and Ida, I've made up my mind. I don't care about appearances anymore. And he swims up to Navy HQ and he just docks anyways, even though they say no. And this is where he rips off his horns. He says, world leaders of the government, allow me to atone for the sins of the past 1,000 years. And he takes his horns, rips them off, blood spewing everywhere, and says, I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. The children of Elbath are being raised to live without hurting others, so that one day we may walk hand in hand with humanity. I have come here for peace. I'll do whatever it takes to atone for our sins, even if it means I become a slave myself. And Harald, you fucking idiot. Oh my god, this is painful. This is goddamn painful. Like, I have spoken enough about Harald being such a shitty husband and a shitty world leader and a shitty just everything. Like, Harald is the most naive moron, and now he's promoting, like, slavery and racism and just... Like, I could take a white dude from, like, the 1850s plantation, and he would be more agreeable than this fucking guy. Like, I'm swear to fuck. Like, Jesus Christ. Granted, I'm a British Canadian, so I was not a part of any plantations whatsoever. My ancestors were actually not involved in slavery in any way, because I can date my family tree back all the way to the fact that, guess what? Never had a slave. So, I don't know about that. My point is that I know enough about it from history to say, Harald, what the fuck are you saying? Like, I'm losing my mind here. I could rant for an hour about this shit, okay? But it's late. I'm tired. I've had a big day. I feel like a woman right now. I'm tired. I've had a late night. I have a big day. You know, I either way, I'm just... God damn. Harald is not worse. Alright, you want to put Odin as a piece of shit, then you got to put Harald right down on his tier and right below him. So if we have the dog shit man tier, Harald is, however that works, like Harald is on the bottom sort of idea. Like, Harald is worse than Odin in his naivety, in his stupidity, in his way to change the world. Harald has made mistake after mistake after mistake after... He has never made a good decision. Not once. Not once. 50 years we have seen this flashback, and Harald has never... He's always fucked up. He has never made a good decision. Odin has made at least a minimum of 3. Harald, tell me a good decision he fucking made. Give me one. Give me one good decision that lasted. Go ahead. And don't say banging fucking Ida and banging Loki's wife and or Loki's mother and fucking making the kids, because the making the kids was not necessarily, that was the dick thinking. That does not count. I mean, up here in the gray matter, one decision that actually matters for the context of the story today that was an improvement on Elbath. Show me one improvement he made to the rest of the world or Elbath, because I can tell you the fucking negatives of everything he decided. God damn it. Harald, You are literally the worst king. Emu, we literally pointed out like 3 chapters ago and like literally spurred rocks on with it. Was like, we've never had such a fucking moron king of Elbath. I never could have pulled this shit off. Where now Harald, being the sympathetic idiot, fuck. I can do whatever the fuck I want now with the Giants. This is awesome. Like, I have been trying for 1,000 years to get this shit, and I was waiting for such a naive moron to take the throne. Now I'm good. Emu literally has the exact right description for Harald. I know it's sad because the man is coming from a good place. He's coming from good intentions. But as Sam Neill said in Jurassic Park 3, some of the worst things imaginable were done with the best intentions. And this man has fumbled the ball 85. Like, Elbath, stop making this dude your quarterback. He has fumbled the ball and given it to the other team. He has been intercepted on every drive since inception. Get rid of this dude. The best thing for Elbath was when this dude was dummy reverses and murdered. That was the best thing for that country. And we'll wait to the end of the, because I believe now one more chapter, that's the end of the, like, we'll get up into the fact that he gets dummy reversing and Loki has to kill him and Elder Jarl and blah blah blah. We have one more chapter of this flashback, but my god, this dude, like, it's, I don't know. I don't have words in the English language anymore. I'm just done. I'm just done. Harald is shit. Anybody says that Odin is the worst, no. It's Harald. It's Harald every time. That's the end of that. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next week. Jesus fucking Christ.